the next 3 months is really inviting you to choose connection over isolation and authenticity over compromise. October is going to be like a season of perfectly aligned abundance, beauty, and self-love. It's going to remind you that when you nurture yourself, you become a magnet for yourself and for others, plant seeds of love and creativity, and they will flourish. So October is all about flourishing. It's renewal, it's magnetism, it's self-expression, it's connections within partnerships. And these partnerships aren't necessarily romantic. There's a tie with the finances and communities they're in. But they're going to deepen. October is going to be all in all a pretty good month for Libras specifically, especially if you have it in your big three. Come November, there's going to be decisions that need to be made in regards to these partnerships and finances. And we're going to allow old things to fall away, or you're at least invited to. It's in your best interest, everybody's best interest for this. But this is going to be a month where you're going to be required to stand in your integrity, speak your authentic truth, and trust that the balance comes not from trying to make everybody happy, but from honoring your own center. If you do this, to the best of your ability, December is going to open up some doorways for you, both in love at this point and community. So connections that were made deep 2 months prior are going to deepen even more. There is going to be some romantic shifts that are going to kind of inwardly, you're going to have like this declaration of love, not only for yourself, but for your romantic relationships that you're in right now, or new romantic relationships that come in. The season is not about control. It's about surrendering and trusting that what is leaving your life is making space for what is meant to arrive. October is going to be like a metamorphosis kind of month. There's going to be a lot of shedding of the old skin, old stories start to kind of dissolve. And there's going to be moments of relief kind of like sprinkled throughout October. Relationships are going to be deepening all the way around, but in your specific case, if you have a Scorpio in your big three, especially, there's going to be secrets that are going to surface and truths that are going to be revealed. They demand to be faced. They demand to be faced. And you have to face this within the relationships and or connections in October to allow what's going to emerge in December. Okay. So it might be a little hard. It might be a little challenging, but trust the process, kind of like a rebirth. In November, there's going to be really, really quick movement and shifts within friendships, collaborations, and your own personal beliefs in ways that you didn't really expect. So it might still feel like a little bit of a disruption, but it really is a liberation. I promise you that. It's clearing away old structures that they are too small for your soul at this point. And again, if you kind of just take it day by day with this, the collapse is not chaos. It's a foundation into something that's truer and in more authentic alignment with yourself. In December, you really want to take some time to go inwardly, whatever that process may be for you. Your dreams are probably going to be a lot louder, a lot more vivid in the month of December. But this is because your inner compass is really sharpening itself, your intuition. This is the month to trust your instincts more than ever. More than ever. December is going to be like your epiphany moment. It's perfect timing for you to surrender and let all that's meant to be in your life arrive. This is a moment for you to stand out, speak up, and let your heart lead the revolution. This is not a period of time where you are going to be fitting in. October is going to probably come out the gate pretty intense for you. Whatever your process is to assist you in making it easier for you to expand your awareness and your perspective, to step into some emotional sovereignty, pay attention to what comes out your mouth. Pay attention to the ideas that pop in your head. And then just normal actions, right? So like what you say, what you post, what you share with people, because this is going to ripple far beyond where you ever thought it was going to be. There's going to be what do they say? Tightening in friendships and collaborations. And some are going to like fall off the bandwagon. It's okay. Let it happen. Do not force it. It's okay. This is like a manifestation month for you because you finally like stop trying to have control over it. And the universe has totally taken the wheel from you. So a lot of really, really good things, a lot of manifestations becoming materializations or in the process of becoming materializations, because in November, breakthroughs, new people, more ideas, larger communities. This is really unfamiliar for you, but this month is really special in regards to a specific awakening and reconnection in regards to freedom, belonging, and value for you. So stay open, stay curious, stay willing to explore, gather with your tribe in the month of November, because in December, it's a turning point. Confidence is like through the roof. Relationships are going well. There's uniqueness within them, which I don't think you've had in a really, really long time. it's really a good time for you to launch some ideas that you've been marinating in for the last couple of months. It's going to step into visibility, so whatever it is that is intense and breaks through in the months that are prior to this is really going to help you solidify your superpower. That's what they said. So December is inspiring. It's awakening. It's reminding you that this journey is sacred. Love is the truth's revolution. Your light is not just for you, it's for the collective. And even if you don't want it to be for the collective, I'm pretty sure the universe is going to throw you out there. This is a season not about escaping. It's about embodying your imagination and letting it heal the world around you. A lot of romantic connections for you in the month of October. Very creative, very spiritual, very sacred, very, very sacred. There's a lot of energy in regards to union and reciprocation. You're going to fully be seen and heard either by a partner or by somebody that comes in and you finally get seen and you feel heard. October is like, it's going to be great. November, your intuition is going to heighten. Everybody's is going to kind of shift. It just kind of depends on where your placements are. Again, if this is in your big three, your dreams are going to heighten. Synchronicities are going to be too bold for you to even try to convince yourself that it's a coincidence. Subtle signals are no longer subtle anymore, and they supersede what your logic usually tries to hold the reins on. So you might feel a little uncertain at this point in time because this might be a little new to you, but just honor it. All right. Remember that the clarity is going to be coming, and it generally does come after we surrender to the process that we don't have the human control over, if you will. With December, it's going to slow down. It's a time for reflection for you specifically and a reevaluation of your perspective, especially over the last 2 months. It's really a chance that you're given where you can look at your life from a different angle and see it from a different perspective. That's going to catapult you into 2026. So whatever and however this pause comes for you in December, make sure that you take it and look back at the last couple of months or even the last year and see where that perspective changes, because it's really going to open up a whole new world for you come 2026. Finally, Aries, we don't have to hesitate. This is a season about trusting your instincts and moving boldly towards what calls you. Now, I'm going to be smiling a lot through this message because I'm an Aries sun, so I'm a part of this collective message as well. But October is the chariot, okay? So it's going to pull you forward. Now, you might feel like you're pulled in a couple different directions, but if it's between responsibility and freedom or caution and boldness, now's the time that we actually get to claim the freedom and boldness and focus and move with determination. All right. So if you've acquired the discipline, if you've acquired the clarity, you want to harness that energy, set your sights and make your moves. Okay. November is like your authority amplified, especially in regards to like leadership roles, taking on projects, creating and collaborating with stronger relationships. You've already mastered placing appropriate boundaries. Now you want to define what stability looks like to you. So again, mastery, self-control, self-command, harness that true power, not by force, Aries, but by presence. December is like a reignition. There's more inspiration that starts to flow in. Not that it hasn't been flowing in already, but there's different opportunities that are now sparked from old passions. And there's new projects, new relationships, new communities, new visions, new ways of seeing things, very newness. But this is all in a sense of community projects, finances, careers, all of that. And it's reminding you that passion is fuel and that every great journey begins with one single spark. The season is about rooting and letting your presence become your power, your steady presence. So this is slow and steady. October is all about connections, romantic, platonic, spiritual connections with the self, with guides, all of that starts to deepen. Relationships of all forms are deepening for most people across the board. It's just, we're tweaking it as per sign. So if you have this in your big three, it's going to be a little bit more prominent for you. But these bonds are soul bonds, and you can tell that they're soul bonds because they're consistently supportive. Okay. And there's renewal in this. It's union and reciprocation in all areas. By the time we get to November, though, you're kind of like grounded in the stability of this energy. Work, finances, and home kind of start to come into focus for you, more so than they have been in the last couple of months. So if you're called to do something that creates more security for yourself, for those you love, or the projects that you're birthing into reality, this is the month to tend to the practical side of things, all while still honoring the beauty and the comfort of it. Resourcefulness is going to be important. Nurturing is going to be important to bring about the abundance. Again, this is not necessarily just about material. This is emotional and spiritual wealth as well. And when December comes around, there's going to be some more reconnections. So like you're growing the communities and relationships all throughout these 3 months. Again, this has to do with traditions, ancestral traditions, wisdom, spiritual practices. You might be called to join a specific community that shares the same values, but you are being called more to join communities so that you can broaden awareness and share values and guidance and teach and learn at the same time. This is really in alignment with something greater than you can see at this moment in time. This is about wisdom being passed down through connection, through verbal verbs, through verbal communication and connection, and it's strengthened when you honor both your individuality and your communities along with your lineage. This is a season about aligning with your words, your actions, and your heart space. In October, some of the rougher relationships, both romantic and platonic, are going to start to soften. It's a really inspiring month for you to see things in a different perspective that initiates new beginnings that are coming. And the things that you're focusing on are very nourishing towards your soul, yourself, right? So we're kind of refocusing where that needs to be. And it's going to come from some of those rougher relationships. Okay. November is really fast for you. Like there's finances, career, projects, personal goals, all accelerate. All you're really kind of asked to do is go with the flow with that, but try to maintain the discipline in your focus. Because the success will come not necessarily from the speed, even though it's a fast month, but it's going to come from consistency, clarity, and purpose. By December, this dedication is really going to come into alignment, and you are going to face probably some decisions in regards to like relationships, work, career, and you need to choose what feels true to you, and that's not always the easy choice, right? But it does bring about union, authenticity, the power of choice, the outcome of that. It reminds us that every decision is a declaration, right? Not only just for yourself, but for others. And it assists in the life that you're going to be creating and stabilizing and bringing into materialization in 2026. This is not about hiding your sensitivity anymore. This is about letting it guide you and trusting that your heart is your greatest strength. Your sensitivity is your greatest strength. In October, there's going to be a lot of emotional healing and harmonization. Yes, it's going to have to do with relationships, but certain relationships are going to feel more supportive. Family, or chosen family become more of a source of joy for you because they're all kind of, everybody's like amalgamating together, if you will. So there's a lot of peace, there's a lot of connection, there's a lot of fulfillment within those relationships that's going to be nurtured in the month of October. November is going to kind of call you into a little bit more of a leadership role. So you might feel a little bit more confident in your work come November, kind of ready to take on a little bit more, inspired, pursue projects that maybe you didn't have it in you to do before. Now's the time for that. You're probably going to have a lot of people looking to you for guidance. It's your courage and your strength in that same sensitivity that's going to really shine at this point in time. So if they're drawn to you, they're drawn to that strength. Don't hide it anymore. December is really going to heighten this because you've already like started to use it. Your dreams are going to be more vivid, maybe more consistent. Synchronicities are probably going to slap you in the face. You might feel a little bit more sensitive, but this is more or less like a level up in your intuition and your gifts and your abilities. They're just sharper than ever before. So when December comes, even if certain things start to feel a little uncertain like they did before, make sure you apply that sharpened intuition when things feel uncertain, because it's never going to guide you incorrectly. We are no longer scattering our fire. We are focusing it and we are letting it be the torch that lights our way. In October, you're going to naturally try to find balance between your social life and your inner world, right? So all these last couple of months where you've been feeling like you're pulled in a couple of different directions, you're craving connections, but then solitude, and we don't know, we're scattered all over the place. October is going to help you delegate, to find what you need to find, to pace yourself, to integrate lessons, and to trust that balance does create freedom. And your big thing right now in the month of October is about balancing the outer world with your inner world, right? So November, when you do this, November is going to like bring in a little bit momentum. There's going to be some really sudden shifts in career, travel, and finances, and they're all in your favor. So just roll with it. Just roll with it. It's really kind of the universe giving you some validation that when you put time to delegate, set boundaries for yourself so that there's balance for you, things start to balance and go in your favor all the way around. December is your season. December is your season. So there's a lot of celebration. There's a lot of perspective, clarity in your perspective about where you're going. Like you have your bright sun. You can see way far ahead. It's really, really a joyful time for you. And this optimism that you're on is contagious. So it's really, really, really setting a tone for you to get shit done in 2026. This is not a season about rushing to the top. This is about building foundations that last. So in October, it's really highlighting like leadership and publicity, visibility, if you will. So you might be stepping up in career. You might take on responsibilities that kind of puts you a little bit more in the forefront, and it's really showing the world around you that you are more than capable. People that you see as authority figures are starting to notice this discipline, and opportunities are arising from that. This is a month about strategy, persistence, and authenticity. November wants you to look at old patterns because you get to taste this in October. You're going to taste it in October. November says, which one would you prefer? This or that? So you're going to be asked to review old habits, fears, attachments, emotional attachments, relationships, especially around work, money, and those types of relationships. This is not like a punishment. It is really something that's going to be illuminated for you so that you can finally let go of the things that no longer serve you, including cycles of being overworked, controlled, and doubtful. It's a liberating month for you if you do this. December is like completion. I'm sure you're going to be seeing 999s everywhere, but there's completions in projects, relationships, personal cycles, karmic cycles, generation cycles. You have a lot of clarity about what's coming next as well. In addition to that, you've climbed this mountain. You might have done it slow and steady, but you have reached the top. So make sure in December, once you have these realizations, that you take a moment to pause and honor your progress, your presence, because the next year is going to be an ascending year for you. This is not about dimming yourself. This is about shining fully and letting your radiance inspire others. And if it's too bright for them, they can get some sunglasses. October is going to ask you to release that shit, release the old patterns, release the relationships, let them go emotionally. Let them go. Emotionally, let them go. Make sure that you have emotional sovereignty in October so that old relationships, old patterns, old creative blocks are not affecting you anymore. This is going to make space for you to step into your authentic self. This is a month of transformation for you if you have this in your big three, and endings that lead to bigger beginnings than you could ever imagine, right? This is it's like a death and a rebirth month. It's a time for liberation. Now, November might be a little challenging for you in regards to lessons of learning how to call upon your resilience to calm your inner force so that you act and move and speak with compassion, both for yourself and for others. True power can be gentle. It can be rooted in love. It is rooted in love. It can be steady. So you want to make sure that you kind of slow down and redefine that inner strength in November. And then with December, with you doing that, you find this new awareness of your own competence, and then the universe starts to respond. So opportunities will open for you. It's really a month for you to like share your authentic self without the side apology, right? You're not doing this just for you. This isn't just about you. This is for everybody that's in your presence. And when you kind of delegate those three, that's when your joy really comes out and solidifies itself in your life. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present and letting your light guide the way. October is going to say, come inside, step back, be introvert, do some reflection, spend some time in solitude, not necessarily isolation, just time with yourself to integrate and gather the wisdom of everything that you have been through over the last year. But I think it's longer than that, because the next chapter is really about to emerge. In November, a lot of movement. There's a lot of movement for everybody pretty much in November, but this movement is about change, sudden change within relationships, sudden change within your own personal growth. So you're not going to be feeling stuck anymore. You're going to be feeling like there's like this shift towards your own destiny. In December, work, finances, and home life, all going to be focused for you. There's going to be massive clarity for you at this point in time. You're going to start to create things that are more stable, more comforting to you, more suitable to nurture the lifestyle that you are seeking to live. And this wealth of experience and balance that you get to step into in 2026 is both material and emotional. And you should give yourself a round of applause because you have put in the devotion, understand the wisdom, and put in the love to yourself to get you to 2026, where all things mirror resourcefulness, practicality, and positive abundance.